Welcome back, and I hope everyone's had a blessed week. And this week, he didn't have a title because he didn't think about the sermon until last night. He had an outline for what we've been doing in the sermon series, but he was led in a different direction. And what he read from was the Adulterous Woman, which most of us probably know this passage, but I'm going to read it. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives early in the morning. He came again into the temple, and all the people were coming to him. And as he sat down and began to teach them, the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman caught in adultery. And having set her in the center of the court, they said to him, Teacher, this woman has been caught in adultery in the very act. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such a woman. What then do you say? They were saying this, testing him, so that they might have grounds for accusing him. But Jesus stopped. Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground. But they were persistent in asking him. He straightened up and said, He who is without sin among you, let him be the first to throw a stone at her. Again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. When they heard it, they began to one by one, beginning with the older ones, and he was left alone, and the woman where she was. In the center of the court, straightened up, said to the woman, Woman, where are they? Did no one condemn you? She said, No one, Lord. And Jesus said, I do not condemn you either. Go from now on, sin no more. And there's a lot that you can take from this little passage. The first one is that Jesus isn't here to condemn anybody. Or actually, that's the last thing you can take. The first thing that you need to take here is just the fact that this is how the church is still today. We're here accusing everybody of everything and wanting to condemn them when that's not even what Jesus was ever came for. And we think we know more than Jesus, God, and the Bible. We think we are the final authority and not God. And that's exactly what this is. This is all of the people that run the church, the scribes and the Pharisees. The scribes are the elders of the church. They're the smart ones. They would be Dr. So-and-so today. That's who they would be in the church. They'd be the one with the doctorate. That's the scribes. And the Pharisees are everybody else. And then all they're there for is to catch Jesus at something so they can accuse Jesus of something. All they're wanting to do is accuse somebody of something. They're not trying to make the world a better place or anything, which is what the church, and even then, the church was supposed to be about. And then the last thing that we take away from here is after he does forgive us, he doesn't want us to do it anymore. Because he says at the end, I do not condemn you either. Go from now on and sin no more. But that's what it's supposed to come down to, Jesus forgiving and telling us not to sin. It's not for each other to tell each other what they're doing. Hey, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you're doing wrong. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to lift each other up and let Jesus take care of the rest. But that's all I really took away from that today. Today was an awesome service. We had 21 people baptized. We had people from all, or not from all of the groups, but from just from the congregation of people just there on Easter Sunday. We had people I'm guessing from the friendship class. We had people there just out of the hearing impaired ministries. We just baptized from all of the groups that a lot of churches just don't have the resources to have. Because every church can't have 3 people down front interpreting sign language for everybody. Not every church can have a Sunday school teacher that can help with people that have mental challenges to be able to receive the gospel. And that's one thing I like about going to such a large church is they've got something for everybody. We are helping anybody and everybody that wants to receive the gospel. We're helping them to do it in whatever way, whatever special classes we need to make to reach a group that has never been reached before. And that's what these big churches are able to do that a lot of small churches can't do. You know, the church down the road with 200 people there, there's probably not anybody that even knows anybody that knows anybody at that church that knows sign language. You know, and you don't have anybody that's, you know, that can help with special needs, you know, students and adults and things that just, you know, that you have to be able to teach them in their way to learn these things. And that's just awesome when you see things like that. And you're like, now I know why these big churches are big like they are. It's not what everybody's like, oh, you know, see, it's just they're just there. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. You know, you go in there, they pass the offering plate around 15 times trying to take no. I mean, it's that they want you to give, but it's not like they're there with their hands in your pocket pulling money out. You know, and now because it is a large church, I mean, there are certain things that if you don't give properly, you can't do in the church. You know, there are things that they'll check to see, hey, you know, how much do you make? It's like, we're showing that you give $200 last year. So that means you only made $2,000 and you're wanting to lead our kids choir. You know, they do things, and that stuff that a smaller church is not going to do because they don't have, you know, more volunteers than they have places to put them. You know, and in a big church like that, you should have more volunteers than you have places to put them. You know, there should be people that are like, well, I know you want to, but I don't think you're quite right for this, because if you can't get right here, what makes you be right here, you know, or something. And, you know, and also, I mean, when you've got a big church like that, and it's something that everybody don't think about, but, you know, everybody that's in these children's ministries and things like that, they have had to pass background checks. You know, that's something that I've never even thought about, but, you know, they do. Most of the ministry staff has went through background checks and things like that. But, I got off on a weird tangent there that I wasn't planning to do. But anyway, I do have one more thing, and this is not related to church. This is related to life. And I'm going to start by saying, you know, by just, you know, something that just bothers me. And that's when I see people that are just, that you tell they're able, 100% able to get up and go to work. And what do? They sit under an overpass with a sign that says, we need food, hungry, homeless, helpless. You know, and it's like, well, why are you sitting on the roadside instead of walking somewhere to go find a job or something? You know, and I've been noticing, you know, this same, and what's bad is it's not even like it's a girl and just different guys down there sitting with her every day, bumming money. You know, they're all younger than me. And I'm like, why? I'm like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't take myself to do that. I'd be more apt to starve to death than I would be to sit under an overpass with a sign. And then I go to Walmart today, and I'm sitting in my truck, and I'm looking. And I know why I can't do it, but kids today can. And that's because we teach them to do it. We tell them, here's a bucket. Go stand at Walmart and beg for money so you can go play an all-star game. Why are we teaching kids to beg for money? I was taught to work for money. I had to sell stuff to do anything. You know, I had to do things for any dime I ever got. I didn't stand on the side of a road begging for money. And now what do? We send our kids out there and we wonder why our homeless problem's getting worse, Why everybody's sitting with their hands out? Because that's what we taught our kids. We are teaching our kids to have their hand out asking for something. And that's all I got today.